Okay, so what were we doing? Oh, I didn't know I could just use WASDA to move. Holy shit, I'm fast. Anyway, um, we stole the data from this thing, right? So this is just, we got the Celis data. Now I have a question. How am I gonna survive without, like, with scrap is what I had thought, but like, I mean, I guess that's the only thing you've got. You just use scrap to survive, because we can't do anything else. Bar shifts, I'm not that interested in doing. The Ort exchange is fine. I could purchase, right? 60. Yeah, I could purchase one. I don't feel the need to, though. The Ort fabricator is just, it's chillin'. Emphasis stall, I can buy food if I wanted to. The Tambor treehouse. Tea house? It's not a treehouse. My repaired unit of a home, that's fine. Mini G Express food delivery, no need. Yannick's ward, though, there is a need. I still have to gain Yannick's trust. Honestly, that's a pretty quick one. There you go. I have gained Yannick's trust. Time to expose his ass. Factories, restaurants, surgery, schools, the layers of the block are rich with stories and problems to solve. We're starting to learn them all. Yannick is a strange character, but he seems to understand the value of hard work. You'll gain his trust with time. I have his trust. You almost laugh when you see it. The same small record is stuck to a different wall this time. Written across the fluorescent tape is that familiar word, sleeper. You grab it quickly. Rabaz says sorry. Sabine's voice sparks up once again. She said she didn't have time to brief you before setting you up with the old man. I'm sure you've got the play by now. Earn his trust, work the block. Then we need you to get into his office. A pause. It's risky, but obviously you are the only one of us he doesn't already know. Either way, we need to locate the link to SNR. You hear a shout in the background of the recording. Rabah says be careful. Sabine continues, the data suggests there's some relay processing the implant data and sending it to SNR, but we can't lock down its position. Well, I am an insane hacker, so there's a relay. Either he is moving it or it's moving itself or it is rerouting through other relays. We can't understand it. Maybe you can find some details of it in his office. Once he trusts you, you should be able to get close enough to get in the office. You'll only get one shot. The recording creaks and whines. That's the final piece of the puzzle to end this. Okay. Get into his office, find where he's sending data from. It's done. A pause. Good luck, sleeper. I'm sorry too. Be safe. The recording clicks off, leaving you in silence. You pocket the recorder just in case and walk away. Looks like it's up to you. I'll just do it. Yannick's office. Yeah, Castor's table. Castor's got nothing for me. Although he did give me the tickets, but you know. Find the relay. Yannick has asked you to collect the medicine from his office. The medicine. His medicine from his office. Now is the only chance to find an SNR relay. So you trust me enough, huh? He has sent me into the damn office. You spot the countermeasure on the drawer moments before you touch it. This has to be it, but you can't rush it. We have found it. You look at the countermeasure, a ramshackle residential district of low end. You look at the countermeasure on the drawer. It looks like some kind of shock trap. If you'd grab the drawer, you'd likely have thousands of volts running through your system right now. You wince. Once you find the anchor points, it comes away easily enough. You prise it from the drawer quickly and quietly, and then listen for footsteps in the corridor outside. Nothing, all clear for now. You slide the drawer open, looking for other countermeasures that might be inside, expecting to see a chunk of tech, the relay. But as you slip it open, all you see is a handful of wires and an empty implant cradle. He is the damn relay? Is this some kind of mistake? You freeze for a moment, unsure what to do next. Why keep an implant cradle so carefully guarded? You remember Yannick having an implant, a small plate on the side of his head, just above his ear. You assumed it was for hearing or vision. Those shimmering glasses of his come back to you in your memory, his strange movements, his speech. You look again at the cradle, and there it is, pinned on the frame. Proprietary technology, property of SNR. Is he a damn robot? He's a robot, isn't he? Prabha said the relay moved, that they couldn't get a fix on it. What if Yannick was the relay? The thought hits you like a shock. Yannick with a remote relay implanted in his head, networked to every single implanted enforcer in the low end. A shudder runs through you. Ah. Is he even in control, or has SNR wormed its way into the man? Could he even be considered separate from the corporation itself? So he's not a robot, he's just got an implant in his damn brain. You think of your own legal status as a proprietary technology, a puppet with cut strings. Time to cut Yannick's strings then. You reach around inside the cradle and find it, a remote connection, a tiny bead of a transmitter, likely controlling the link to SNR. There it is. You pause for a moment, then you squeeze it, snap it from the frame and it crumples, sparks and dies. It takes a moment before the shouts come, before the scream, and you are already on your way out, down the corridor, down through the unit that serves as the lobby to Yannick's office. Then out onto the walkway, where Yannick lies still and forces gather around him bemused. Approach. You push through the crowd and there he is, still, crumpled. You arrange him a little, lie him down properly, feeling how thin his body is under his suit. You wonder how long he has been like this, a puppet for SNR. With the connection cut, nothing remains but his body, which means that Yannick the man was gone a long time before now. They had full control of his brain, huh? You place a hand on his chest. You are sorry for him, but it is done now, and you did not kill this man. You've seen enough. The connection is cut, and whatever Yannick was or had become is gone. Your anger is a hard core in your chest, and all of it is focused on SNR. What? You want me to wait 4 days? The low end is wild with stories about Yannick's death. You are still waiting for Reba to get in touch, but you trust that she will. Wait, it's a negative? It's bad. Is it bad? I don't know if it is bad. It just says it is bad. Maybe it isn't bad. Who knows? Then we have the midline freight hub. I don't really want to rob stuff though. I don't feel the need to do that. We can ascend. We have import export. We can sell ship mines. Buy the core directly. Not interested though. We can go on the ascender car and ascend. It's leaving in like 4 days. We have the hub. I can like look around here. How much would that take? 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll take 1, 2, it'll take 3 dice. It'll take all my energy just to become good enough here. I don't feel the need, honestly. I think my effort is better spent in the green way. Tomorrow, she is ready. They still need the mushrooms also. Do I need to be in the hyper community, you think? Or just explore these places? Rather than simply trash around in the undergrowth, you might sketch a map of the overgrown jungle, try to better navigate its hazards, or walk. The simplest way to explore the greenway is simply pick a path and set off in its twisting chambers and passages. That carries obvious risk. But I have a +0, bro, with that. Yeah, I haven't done anything with endurance. I could have very easily gotten to here, probably. Or at least till here. Photosynthetic skin and then +1, but now we can put it into it and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will do it in 2 shots, huh? But I'm not gonna get it though, and I will. We'll do it this way. Neutral action going green. You map a section of there is always an unexpected passage, a collapsed chamber, ready to introduce chaos into your careful studies. What the hell? It's garbage, bro. Give me a 4. Negative energy. You clear our slate over and over, unable to mark out even the basic layers of the greenway. Decide you're too tired and give up, bro. Up. Alright, well, I'm out of here. It's risky. Cross the rim over to this side. What am I going to use my 1 for? I don't know, man. I guess I could serve some drinks. Here you go. Brutal outcome. 13 cryo +1 good service. People flow in and out of the overlook, keeping you busy. Your mind drifts to those early fantasies of just passing through. Right, I mean, something. So go home. Let's feed our cat. Here's dinner, cat. We'll end our cycle for now. Time is moving on. And we're back. Okay. We'll feed the stray. The stray. There you go. And we'll head back across the rim. Now she should be ready to talk to me now. I did a lot of stuff for her. Here is Ankita. You spot Ankita on the track to the farm's track. She has a box on her shoulder and is working her way down the slope. She sees you as you approach. Neither of you speak for a moment. She looks tired, pale. Her hair is tangled and clumps of dirt cling to her armor. You both eye each other. Ankita. She holds up her hand. Sleeper. She takes a deep breath. I am sorry for what happened. Truly I am. She looks down. I am sorry you ended up in the middle of this. When all you have shown me is kindness, she rubs her face. I'm sorry. It's okay. She nods, then looks up to the stars. I've never. She stops herself. Thank you. Angita shifts the weight of the box on her shoulder. I've been preparing for the grimaces. Look, she sighs. Can you come with me? It's easier if. If what? You see it, she finishes. It's just down the way. I've been preparing for what, a funeral? Akita leads on down the dirt path between the pillars. There is a wind passing through the greenway, a quirk of the air currents the biosphere maintains, and it ruffles the leaves softly. The sound makes the silence more obvious, more complete. You try not to think of the last time you were here. You have been trying not to think of it for the past few cycles. The image of the sleeper, sprawled, twisted open, connected to the ship mind, has been hard to forget. You realize Akita is leading you back there, into the drum at the center of the stack. You pause, trembling a little, at the threshold. She turns. What are you doing? She looks at you with empty eyes. What needs to be done? You stand on the threshold and look up at the tanks, green and wet, some glowing with flickering grow lamps. You look down at Ankita, suddenly so small under the hulking ruin. The smallest she has ever looked. She places the box down. You know, I'll follow her in. You follow Ankita into the stack through a low tank. She's gonna make like a funeral or something, right? You follow Ankita into the stack through a low tank, entering the drum at ground level. It is just as beautiful as you remember, but it barely touches you. Instead, you check the apertures of the tank for the glint of a weapon or a shadow among the moss. Ankita stops and you look down. The mossy island at the center of the tank is clear now, the equipment cleared away. In its place is a mound of dirt, loosely covered with moss. Ashton's rifle stands straight, half buried in the dirt at the grave's head. I buried them together, Ankita says without turning. You both stand there in silence for a little while. You think of questions you could ask about Ashton, about the sleeper. How long did you know him? She takes a moment to respond, and for a moment you think she won't, but then the words come gushing out. He signed on a while ago. He used to run recon for a corporate outfit but got sick of the pay. He joined the crew as a sniper, and the first few jobs were a breeze. He was so cold, disconnected. He always hit his marks. Hmm. The last few jobs, though, he was different. I noticed that. We've had a period of extended shore leave on the Eye, and when he came back, he was changed. I assumed he'd just had too much time off. He was right. I never would have given him the ship mind. I wouldn't have believed him. I have had crew members double cross me, undercut me, rat me out. That's the business. He wasn't a good person. None of us in the job are. This is how we die, alone. She stops, not sure of what to add. It seems like she is reaching for something, but she can't quite get there. You feel that gap between you. As you do, it widens. The water drips, the moss trembles. You both stand in silence for a while longer. You both feel it, life creeping back in, the silence ending. Ankita shifts her weight and then starts to walk out. You follow her, suddenly eager to be back out in the open space of the greenway, to be away from this place forever. So you fell in love here, met the guy. You stand outside and breathe the fresh air, met the sleeper, I mean. You stare at the green leaves and the stars wheeling above them. That's it, says Ankita, from somewhere behind you. You try to think of something to say but can't. Ankita puts a hand on your shoulder. You turn back to her. At least take this. She forces a handful of cryo chits into your hands. It's what I owe. She looks at you desperately. You look down at the metal bars. Ugly little things, you think. I drop the chits. I'll take it. You take the chits and turn without saying a word. You continue up the track and she does not follow. As you walk up the rise, the wind picks up and the leaves shudder. You walk faster, trying to outpace your anger. The chits are heavy in your pocket and you hate them for reminding you how little a life is worth. Money! What do you mean? It's a lot of money! Holy shit! Sure, let's sunbathe. I don't even know what the hell sunbathe means, but let's do it. That's one more drive done, right? If Sabine is right, Yannick has been working with Espen up behind Yatakan's back. Time to find out the truth. Yeah, if only she'll be there. Escape, enter the greenway, find a nurturing grow bed for the seed. Yeah, I'll get back to doing that, I suppose, now. Because again, I cannot do this yet, can I? Just a locked action. +1 scrap component, but can get condition. Out here at the edge of the habitable parts of the Eye, everything is scrap. The trick is finding components and that are still usable, staying safe. Yeah, well, still, it's fine. For now we'll do this. We'll walk the greenway. Explore, simply pick a path and get off. You find your way onto a well-kept pathway between encampments where carefully planted groves provide fungus and vegetables. Ooh, can I have some of that fungus, perhaps? Oh my god, it's insane. What a roll. 5656. Going green. You see the corporate order beneath the leaves and rot, and the bright inventions of the greenways plants have warped around this structure. Boom. Explore the greenways unlike an ellipse in the eye. Its overgrown chambers defy mapping, but I have mapped them. New drive discovered. The hell? Grow mushrooms. The aviary would be the perfect place to grow mushrooms with some work, that is. Clear the aviary. Is this the aviary? This is the farm stacks. Steal the harvest. Plus energy. There's a loads of food here. Why should these farmers keep it to themselves? If you can do it quickly, they might not even notice it's gone. Thief, if you get caught stealing, there's no way you'll be able to work in the stacks. It's as simple as that. Okay. Or I can work the stacks. Some farm stacks from the old station have survived, and the farmers that work them are always looking for new workers. They pay by yield. Or I can barter for food. The farming collective who control the stacks don't like to sell their food by piecemeal, but for the right price they let it go. Alright, so this is just buy food, sell food. Mushroom groves, buried fungus chambers. Collect spores. While the grove mushrooms are dangerously inconsistent, spores provide a chance to gather or study these species in an untouched forms. Or I can forage for fungus. The fungus that grow in the deep groves of the greenway are typically avoided, but those with sharp eyes might find useful fruiting bodies. So I can grab fungus from there. Or this is the aviary. Clear the overgrowth. Sunlit refuge. Once a corporate garden for impressing guests with neat-twigged birds. Now the chamber is a mess of overgrowth. You can change that. Cut away the choking vines, stop the rot, and this place could be turned back into a garden of sorts. We can get 3 per. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we still need 4. We don't have 4 dice. But I can collect some. I can forage for fungus at least. It's gyroil caps, right? Yeah, positive outcome. Deep in the vent core, you find the amber caps of gyroils. In this micro ecosystem, they are protected from other stranger growths. Yeah, we can get 3 and give it to him. Deep in a vent core. Give me another. Boom. Okay, that's really all I wanted. And we can grow funguses ourselves, I suppose, but like we don't need to. It's the thing. And maybe he'll feed me for free now in Emphasis stall. Empress wants to make this old recipe. He'll need a handful of gyroil caps, fresh and firm. As fresh as they come. Empress eagerly takes the bright yellow gyroil caps. He seems pleased with them. What is going on? Gyroil prep. Empress is working on gathering the ingredients and preparing the mushrooms. He doesn't like to rush these things. Bro, I need food. What do you mean you don't have to rush these things? Should have eaten, man. Fine, I'll go and barter for food. For 13 bucks, how much do I get? 2 energy. Meh. It's cheaper there. Farmers take the shits residently and then pass you food. Yeah, honestly, it's just way cheaper in the other place. We can also explore the hyper commune as well. So that is 4 dice here if I want to become a hyper member. Yeah, I don't know. I would rather just... Who knows? Maybe I do want to become a hyper member. Like, how many days do I have? That's the problem now. Like, I'm flush with everything else. I just don't know what to do. Has impressed you all traders, and there's no reason you can't build more. Work for a bug, gain Ethan's protection. Ethan tried to double cross you, but Mavic ended his scheme. Now you're free of them both. Fix the ambiguous. Find Ashton. You aren't sure it was a good thing. Talk to Ankita. Well, whatever, I did it. We have exactly 3 days before it bloody leaves. Sunbathe, there you go. Plus energy. Your frame's photosynthetic skin allows you to gather energy through the sunlight. The longer you stay, the better. And it is a safe action, so we can just slowly farm energy, huh? Okay. That is good. We'll end the cycle, move on to the next. Okay, we'll feed the stray again. It's only a little bit of money. Is anyone ready to do anything right now? Don't think so. Nothing is good to go. Well then, I guess I'll cross to the damn greenway then. Go to the aviary. I guess I'll become a hyper member now. Work in the damn canteen. Newcomers can work in the canteen, preparing and serving food for those that make the compound their home. Sure, here you go. Oh, I got energy too. Wow, a lot of it. After seeing you prepare the food, the growbed workers invite you to share a meal with them. Their conversation flows warmly and freely. New drive discovered. Join the Hyper Commune. The Hyper Commune meets the needs of its members in exchange for work. Could you find a home here? Volunteer at the commune. Boom. Up my energy. Do it again. Boom. One last time. Please work. Please no neutral. Positive. Boom. Got it. I am now a hyper member. Drive complete. +1 upgrade points. There you go. It's just that easy, baby. Boom. Now I have +1 in endure as well. Strength or strength of will. So now I can do this. I can gather scrap. Out here at the edge of the habitable parts of the eye, everything is scrap. The trick is finding the components that are still usable and safe. Okay, so we have a hyperdorm. Holy shit, okay. You aren't finished with this cycle? Complete active scenes to proceed? Oh, I can't do it. Wow. Because I have a damn home here as well. Interesting. And we have the self-sustaining commune here. I can work an assignment. Commune members are expected to turn up for work assignments. And in return, their needs will be met. All are treated equally. It's communism, but it's fine. Rico, commune botanist. Hello, Rico, head of the Hyper Botany. You head down the Hyper compound following a blue painted line that is labeled as laboratories. The member you were assigned to work with told you they'd asked to see you, but you still have no idea what it's about. The line takes you to a blue door and through to a glass roof chamber where a network of stems and leaves filters the sunlight coming through the ceiling, casting the whole chamber in a strange yellowish green. Peaceful, isn't it? Distracted by the green, you missed a woman standing at a lab bench, camouflaged by the dappled light. Welcome to my sanctuary, she smiles. Come, let's talk. She says and beckons you closer. He's the head of bounty. What is this place? Botany, sorry. Here, these were processing centers for the agriculture of the old corporate station. She offers a hand to shake. I am Rinko. I run the botany program at Hypa. Botany program? Yes, the plants in the greenway are vital to Hypa's continued existence. It's important we understand them. She lifts a tiny sample jar. Yellow spores dance inside. Hypa lives off the land of the greenway. It's what allows us to live like we do. No one here pays or is paid. We sleep here. We feed each other. We work for each other. Rinko walks away from the bench and waves for you to follow. She opens a small door and leads you down a glass corridor surrounded by vivid green. All this, she says, gesturing at the overgrowth, is a kind of miracle. She looks at you with bright eyes. What do you think usually happens to plants on stations like this when they are abandoned? They dry up. Exactly, they run out of water. Very rapidly, in fact. She leads you left at a crossroads, but here they endured and smiles to herself. Actually, no, they thrived. You look at the bright tendrils wrapped around the metal frames of the corridor. They look dominant, strong, like they are taking control of this place. But they are. Rinko continues. Of course, Solheim tried to create a stable biosphere here, patchworking the surface with gardens and algae tanks that feed into the network of microbial reclamation systems. But the Greenway was always envisioned as extractive, a place from which the harvest is removed and sold to those living on the station, not a closed loop. For this reason, when the collapse came, the Greenway should have gone with it. Erlin himself was so convinced of it that his first colony never even came here to try to reclaim it. The Eye instead relied on outside favors and influences, shipments from the inner system, and small-scale agricultural systems like kelp and fungal farm stacks. And yet here we are, among growth and decay, a biosphere flourishing. When Hypa came here, we expected to find only vacuum-dried stalks and leaves, and perhaps some fungal colonies hidden in the mulch. But we found a jungle. With this, Rinko hits a button on the wall and leads you through a large pair of double doors into a huge, impossible chamber. It's every kind of green, from the pale algae tanks to dark vines that surround them. It is wet too, a rarity on the eye. Condensation clouds the light from the high glass roof and gathers on the shiny, broad leaves of shrubs. Did you do this? He smiles. Oh no, not me. Ringo turns to you, visibly excited by the room you'd both standing in. It doesn't make sense, but in many ways the system has stabilized. Unlike the farm stacks closer to the gap, who need input to support their meager output, this place runs itself. Huh. Perhaps Solheim managed something new here, or perhaps they tweaked the plants or built new systems buried deep below us, or perhaps their collapse caused some fortunate cascade, an unlikely chemical reaction within the biosphere. That's what I'd like you to help me find out. She turns to you, her forehead wet with dew. Me? Yes, you. Rinko sits on a railing. These halls run deep, sleeper, and I'm getting old. She stamps her foot on the metal grating of the walkway. Whatever is causing this, it's to be found in the groves deep in the greenway. Hypa won't spare anyone for an expedition. It's too dangerous and unnecessary, they say. I can make the case, but I can't get the votes. You sleepers are hardy beings, I know that much, and you can speak to the eye, uncover its secrets in ways I never can. She holds out an arm so you can help her stand. Bring me samples, spores, seeds, and blooms. I can grow them in the lab and study them. The deeper they are found, the better. I will try. Thank you, she smiles, and thank you for listening. Rinko leads you back out of the huge chamber and up throughout the passage. She is a little slower now and stumbles on the steps. You help her where you can. It's good to have new blood in the commune, she says. Many of us have been here a long time, and few come through. She settles back at her bench in the lab, stretching her legs. You go to leave. Come back if you find something, sleeper, she calls. There are discoveries to be made, and you follow the blue line back up out of the compound, and all time thinking of that impossible magical green. You drive. Help Rico's experiments. The botanist Rinko wants you to help her understand the closed ecosystem of the Greenway. The Greenway is thriving. Hyper Labs delivers spores. Rico has asked for samples of spores from the deep growths of the Greenway. With them, she might better understand how this biosphere functions. She wants three. Rinko needs spores to study the strangely resilient biosphere that has formed around the Greenway. How is this place thriving? But it's got no freaking network access. That's one problem. Except this place had it, but I freaking smashed through that. Then there's this. They want roles there. I can give it to them, but to what end? It's DLC. What can I do with a 1? Probably I can just sunbathe. There's no need to sunbathe, though I have full energy. This thing leaves in 2 days. Risky, risky. Risky, lose energy. Oh, but it's interface. I'm good at interface, right? Neutral. It is overwhelming, but you start to piece together a picture of which base serve which purposes, from repairs to refueling. Alright. A little at a time. We'll see what is over there. Probably nothing much, but you know. I'll go back to my home, though, to sleep. Feed the cat and the cycle. And next cycle, I guess we're out of it. The ship is leaving next cycle. Oh, we're broken? What the hell? I lost it. Ah, shit. Ah, well. It's fine. Okay, one more day for roll prep. The damn ship is here. We can buy scrap. The big stuff goes to the shipyard. The valuables of the market. So to buy a few crates. Okay, so I can only buy 3 is what that means. I see. I understand. It's extracted. One more day for Rabah's office as well. Tomorrow's gonna be a big ass day, huh? Because even this completes tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, I found the gimbal lounge spacebar. I can buy a spacer meal. The gimbal sells itself on its spinning spear, which claims to produce therapeutic gravitational effects. It doesn't, but they sell food. They got that going for them. Gimbal lounge. Get it? It's a gimbal. So I need 2 dice for this, honestly. Let's see what else is here. I'm interested. Golf, bro. Thank you. You start to draw connections from the manifest to manifest, noting the patterns and flows. Is something beautiful in the chaos. Finish it. Boom. Up here, there is no gravity, so even just moving around takes a while to get used to, but I am used to it. And we have found a new home. Kisho capsules. Spacer sleeping birds. The only place to sleep on the hub, hacked off of a colony ship and welded to the ring. A surprisingly expensive place to rent. And we have a ship mechanic called Bliss. Hello, ship mechanic on the hub. No way, Moritz. You take those substandard filters back to the shitheads who sold you them. You hear the voice echoing out of the bay as you pass, and moments later, someone who you assume is Moritz drifts out with it, dragging a pallet of filter cartridges by a tether. Hey, you out there! The same voice echoes out of the entrance. Looking for work? Yes. I just need a hand. Get in here. The voice is coming from someone shorter than you expected. She is floating in the microgravity of the docking bay beside a half-deconstructed life support unit that looks like it might have exploded at some point. Great. She points a wrench in your direction. You know anything about these things? She doesn't wait for an answer. Scratch that. Just help me with the casing. You know anything about these things? Right. I'll help her. Alright then. She deftly moves around the unit, making space for you beside the central stem in the dented case. Just take a grip here and lift out and up, and I can get in and unbolt it. She whacks the unit with the wrench. Whole thing is twisted to shit. You dig your fingers under the casing and lift it away, the metal squealing from the force. She puts her hand under, spinning the wrench to slip out the bolts, catching them in her other hand when they spiral free. All good. The casing lifts off, revealing the ornate piping of the unit's interior. She whistles at the mess of ducts and filters. By the way, everyone calls me Bliss. She pats on the shoulder. She pats you on the shoulder, offering little in the way of an explanation. What do you do here? Repairs, fit up, stare downs. Bliss starts pushing and pulling at the ductwork, looking for fractured pipes. We haggle for contracts, but the good ones get snapped up quick by the bigger bays. So here I am trying to get this M2 unit running again for one of the freelance tugs. Small time stuff. So small time repairs they do. Okay. Hold this. She rips out a ribbed pipe and hands it to you like a freshly caught fish. We turn stuff around fast and neat, and maybe we get a chance at landing something bigger. Something starts hissing in the unit, and Bliss quietens it with a precise whack. Wow. But to be honest with you, the way things are going, I can already see the other crews licking their lips, ready to take this place over. She looks up at you. I'm almost out of luck. Offer to help. I appreciate it. Let me finish before you jump, though. She keeps working, twisting aside pipes with care. There we are. Bliss pulls her hand from deep inside the unit, and out it comes, clutching a lumpen cube, scorched black. This thing must have overloaded and popped half of itself out the side. You both duck down to the side of the unit and spot the exit wound, its edges fringed with more scorch marks. Grab me a replacement converter from the racks, will you? Head to the rack. You kick off from the unit and drift over to the wall racks, where a catalog of parts sits secured in clamps. Colored tape and scrawled notes further flutter along the wall, a complex organizational system of Bliss's own design, or just a big mess. You try to pick out the right part. Converter. And this is a what? This is an M2, right? M2 unit, and we need an M2 converter. M2 converter. You grab the part and push back to the unit. Bliss holds out an arm and you pass it over, the converter spinning gently as it leaves your hand. Perfect, you passed. She straightens up from the unit. That is if you want to work here. Bliss rubs her hands clean, looking down at her palms. Truth is, I need a hand here. My partner skipped out on me and left me with a whole mess. You seem like you might at least be better at spotting a clean air filter than Moritz. I'll be happy to. Wait, she frowns at the racks. That's not all of it. My old business partner, they rinsed the place, emptied the accounts. To bid for jobs, we need to put down deposits, bring in parts, pay tug fees. For that, she looks nervous and embarrassed. We need chits. An investment. Exactly. Partners straight split. Bliss settles herself against the unit and looks off into the distance. I guess I look pretty stupid. Here I am asking any random passerby to be my business partner. No offense, she manages a smile. It's pretty weird. He gives you a sideways look. Don't tease me. Bliss goes back to working on the unit. Look, it's no pressure. You find the money or you find someone who has, Or you just forget the whole thing. Up to you. He gestures for you to help her refit the casing and you both slot it back into place. Think I'm good to wrap this one up for now. But if you are into it, come back and we can bid on a new contract. Something to get our teeth into. Something that pays. She gives you a serious look. If you can trust me. I don't say this stuff lightly. Kick away from the bay, propelling yourself back to the handholds at the entrance. You slip out without a wave, and as you do, someone slips back in. You hear bliss as you glide down the passageway. Moritz, I swear to God, if those filters aren't clean, you smile. Seems like this could be interesting. Good drive. Help Rico, help Bliss compete. Bliss needs investment and hard work to turn a repair bay around. Could you be a business partner? Invest in Bliss's bay. A scam or an opportunity? Bliss seems solid enough, and this might be your best chance to get in on the hub's repair trade. Alright, I mean, I'll bid, I got money. I'm liquid right now. Bliss is incredibly grateful. I'll pay back every chit, I promise you. You guess you two are partners now. How many days she needs? I don't have any days, but Bliss is bidding on jobs at the hub. It'll take a few cycles and some perseverance before one comes in. I did invest, now we need to complete repair jobs for her. Except the repair jobs haven't started yet. So, can't really do that, can I? You know what, let's pick up... Where's the medical? Yo! Oh, no, wait, it's gone? It is gone because Yannick is dead? Come on, brother. Great, now I gotta buy scrap. You hand over your chits and they point you to a crate of salvage. Time to see what you just bought. Feeling lucky? It doesn't matter, I'll just buy it out. Random scrap item. The big stuff goes to the shipyards. So now what? I can't do it anymore, right? The rest of the scrap is going elsewhere. Maybe they'll sell you some more next time they dock. Alright, I mean the only reason I wanted scrap anyway is to... my damn home. There it is. The cat. Then I can self-repair. Use our scrap. Have a big day tomorrow. There you go. It's expensive, but it works. And you know what? You know, I have a dice. Let's work a shift here. Why not? A bar shift. Neutral outcome. 13 cryo, good service. People flow in and out of the overlook, keeping you busy. Alright, there you go. And sure. You know what? I'll buy a spacer meal. How about that? Descend to the hub and buy a spacer's meal. The gimbal sells itself. Yeah, we know. How much do I get for this stuff? The energy, huh? Okay, so it's as good as Mushroom Man. Interesting. Alright. Sleep. And cycle. It's the big day today. That ship leaves. Alright, we'll feed the cat. Lot of stuff going on. Let's start with Emphis though. Hello, Emphis. Emphis is preparing the Girol caps. He has had to heavily adapt the recipe, he says, but the smell is already incredible. It emanates from a strange purplish white bulb you have never seen before, and he is slicing it finely. It's an onion. He brushes and slices the mushrooms and then places them in the wok with the sliced bulb and the oil. They caramelize there in that well-worn crucible. He adds liquids, transparent and opaque, and then turns down the heat. A sprinkle of leaves is the final touch. We have a moment, sleeper. He smiles. Do you have a story? Something in the scent of the food gives you a feeling of nostalgia, something distant and melancholic. It seems like the story should match that feeling somehow, and maybe you will feel better for telling it. I'll recall my oldest memories. You start by explaining that when you are emulated from a person, many of your memories are left behind. Perhaps it is an intentional part of the process, a way of keeping sleepers ignorant and malleable, or perhaps it is a side effect of the imperfect emulation. You admit you don't really know. What you do know is that some memories survive, and that on occasion they come back to you, like shadows passing overhead. You detail one recurring memory, which, despite returning to you with enough regularity for you to think it familiar, always fades as quickly as it arrives. It's not supposed to be there, that's why. I think you struggle to explain the feeling of being whole for a moment that comes with this memory. And then you know that wholeness slips away to leave you feeling like you have forgotten something important, but you can't bring it to mind. Amphis nods throughout, cooking as he does with deft and skillful movements. You start to trail off when you realize you can't find the words to explain how the memories you do have feel like both yours and someone else's at the same time, and how that always fills you with certain sadness. The sadness of remaining forever unknown, even to yourself. Amphis finishes cooking and meets your eye. I'm sorry, Sleeper, for all your troubles. He puts the wok to one side. I appreciate you sharing with me. He smiles. I hope it lightens you a little. He passes you a bowl and heaps the rolls into it, their yellow color mixing with the pale sauce in holes and blooms. Eat. The dish is delicious, filling. It warms you as you eat it in a way you weren't even sure your body could be warmed. It is a small mercy you think that SNAP left you this pleasure. Many of the features of frames are there to simulate human experience, you know that much. Emulated minds cannot be rewired, so their need for embodied experience must be met. That is not why you breathe, even when you do not need air. So that is why you breathe. I don't even need to breathe? What the hell? Without that simulation, the sensation of drowning would be unbearable. Food serves another purpose. Your frame is able to metabolize it, produce energy from the raw material. Vitamins and minerals are excess, of course. Your frame only needs raw power. So much is wasted. And yet, while you eat this food and feel that warmth, nothing feels wasted. All of it, it all means something to you. So I can't taste it. I can taste it, but like not really. Can't I just toss wood in me then and just metabolize the wood? I don't know. As you finish, Empress takes the bowl, the last of his cleaning. He smiles at you and neither of you feel the need to say anything more. Instead, you simply exchange nods and walk your separate ways back into the bright market, somehow changed. What happened to my drive? Empress loves two things, stories and food. Maybe if you supply him with both, you can hear his story. He wants Matsuke caps now. What the hell? Empress mentions an old recipe for Matsuke broth. All he needs are 2 handfuls of Matsuke caps, freshly sourced. Bro, it never ends. What about Rabba? Even before you enter the office, you can hear the sound of Rabba working the heavy bag. She is hammering it, the chain creaking as it shakes with each hit. Okay, the punching bag, right. She's been like this since Sabine doesn't finish the sentence. They are sitting on a stool, looking at the terminal in the corner, searching through the SNAP data you pulled all those cycles ago. How have you been? I'm well, Sleeper. Happy to no longer be hunted, they smile. Yatagan has plenty to deal with and without Yannick, I'm free. They glance nervously at Rabba. Rabba stops punching and in the silence you can hear her breathing hard. Sabine looks over at her and you sense something between them. You realize you haven't seen them together since they tried to kill each other in the same unit. A lot has changed since then. They hooked him up like a puppet. Rabas hits the bag, rigged that thing in his head so they could control him, pushed the old Yannick out. I don't know why he let them in. Rabba throws a few more punches, but it's a lesson. Don't let them in. Another flurry. Yatagan shouldn't deal with corporations, and we never will again, she spits. She comes away from the bag. At least Yannick's death has been treated as natural. There's a chance we come back from this, that Yatagan can hold on. But there are opportunists trying to take control. Sabine turns to you. Yes, but now the connection has been broken. I've been looking at removing the trackers from the implants in Yatagan's enforcers. It's a significant job, I think, but I think with time I can do the surgeries. Prabha walks away from the back towards the far side of the unit. Those surgeries will never happen if Yatagan collapses, she shouts back at Sabine. Clearly this is a well-worn argument in this unit. What now for you? Sabine looks over at Rabba. I want to help fix this mess if I can. There's the implants and I want to return to my surgery. The low end really needs doctors. What I understand now is that Yatagan can be something if we want it to be. Coming here from SNR, from the core worlds, all I saw was a gang, and with Yannick keeping me on a tight leash, they shudder. Rabba believes, and I want that belief. They look unsure. I also want to be done with SNR, but I doubt they are done with me. They glance away, rubbing their shoulders. So the gang, are you and Rabba Sabine fixes you with a look. Yes, sleeper, isn't that obvious? They smile. They are together. I have been wanting to say, Sabine begins nervously. I'm sorry that I didn't tell you where I came from. I know I've apologized before, but I want to again. They pause. Properly. When I leaked the data on the sleeper program, it was to try to help people like you. They grit their teeth. But after all the cycles here, being pushed down, pushed around, trying to survive, all that got away from me. So when you turned up, they sigh. It took me up. It shook me up. They run a hand through their hair, but I ended up here. So they look at Rabah. Oh, of course. They reach into a pocket and take out a handful of vials. Ooh, these are the last of the case. You can have them. They drop them into your hands. After these last few, I don't know what we can do. With the SNAP connection broken, they look down. But I know there are other ways. Repairs, other pharmaceuticals. I even heard there are some labs out on the Greenway. Perhaps they can help. They mute your eye. I'm sorry I can't do more. Thank you for everything. They look away, their eyes bright with tears. Rabah crosses back to you both and sits beside Sabine. They look at each other, and you can't help but smile at the idea of them together. What are you two plotting? Rabah grins. Sabine laughs, and the sound is a welcome one. You watch the two of them teasing each other and smile. Later, when you leave, you take the handful of vials out of your pocket and look at them. You can still feel that core of anger deep down inside, and you don't know if that will ever leave. But SNAP doesn't own you anymore. They can't, because this place, these people own you. They are what makes you get up every cycle, and they are what keeps you breathing. You put the vials away and walk through the low end, your senses tuned to every sight, every smell, and every sound, soaking it all in, living. Drive complete. And how many? I got 3. But there are no more now. That is interesting. Yannick is dead and Yatagan is trying to deal with the aftermath, but Sabine and perhaps Rabah can see a path forward together. And this is something in the Greenway that might be able to help me as well. And that is interesting to think about. So if I go up here now... Yep, Lem and Mina are here. Worker and daughter. Before I go there and just leave though. What's going on in the Greenway? Is there anything? The wastes. Gather scrap. Hyper commune. It's done already. The hyper dome, it's a home, I can sleep. The labs. She wants me to give spores. The aviary is there, I can grow my own shit, but that'll take time. Here we have the spores. While the grove mushrooms are dangerously inconsistent, spores provide a chance to gather or study the species in untouched form. Let's see. Can I grab one of them? 2 spores. Boom. You find a chamber thick with pale particles. You gather as many as you can, unsure what species or types might be in the mix. Cocktail of unknown spores gathered from the Greenway. Oh, what the hell? Greenway groves. How many do you need again? 3. Okay, I'll grab one more for you. There you go, we put in the 4. Positive. Boom. You got 4 spores. There you go, enough to do your experiments. Rico has asked for samples of spores from the deep groves of the Greenway, and with them she might better understand how this biosphere functions. Rico needs spores to study the strangely resilient biosphere that has formed around the Greenway. How is this place thriving? I guess we'll find out. Rico is grateful for the contribution. Sleeper, you warm my heart with each delivery. Thank you. Well, warm your heart again. And do it again. Sleeper, Rico greets you without so much as looking up from her work. I have some of yours here, come see. She beckons you over to a heavyweight looking console, wired to a species of specimen jars, some of which contain your spores. What does it say? The spores you have here are a real cocktail, a selection of types from within the groves, but I have been able to isolate a few. She taps one of the specimen jars. Here we have Matsuke. Yep. Rico breezes through the Latin and Japanese pronunciations as if it were nothing. A species, Solheim, somewhat modified for use on the station. She brings up a panel on her console showing a chemical composition, all gradiented bars and obtuse acronyms. This is the composition of the Solheim modified Matsuke spores. Modified? Yes, every species on the eye is a tweaked variant of Solheim's, of course. But that's not the point. Rico brings up another panel, identical in layout but with widely different colors and numbers. You see, this is what your Matsuke spores look like. They aren't the same. That's the conclusion, yes. Rico glances at the specimen jar as if it might have something to add. They are fundamentally the same spores, but they carry different chemicals, different signals. She leans back and sighs. Solheim may have introduced their own tweaked versions in the beginning, but the groves have and still are affecting them. Do they still grow? Exactly, she smiles. What I wondered. She moves to another desk where two trays sit side by side. The first contains nothing but plant mulch. The second you smell before you even look at it. The pungent aroma of the fruiting matsuke, like rotten, sodden overalls, laced with an edge of spice. So I guess they evolved on their own here, huh? The matsuke here are grown from Solheim stalks, pulled from a spore vault in this complex. She winks. They are delicious, by the way. She sets them aside. The empty tray is germinated with the spores you collected. No activity, no germination, nothing. But the groves are full. Yes, they are. Rico looks at you directly, and you suddenly realize how much she is enjoying this. So here is our puzzle, Sleeper. Spores from the groves won't grow in the labs. But gathering fruiting bodies from the groves is too unpredictable. We need to grow a fruiting body from some of these spores so we can track it, understand it. In short, I need you to become my mushroom farmer. Actually, I already started. Rico looks impressed. Well, well, an eager mycologist. I'd never have guessed. I assume you set yourself up in the aviary? I've been eyeing that place for its proximity to the groves. Bring me whatever you grow, not just Matsuke. There's more than a couple of variants in there, so I'll need plenty of samples. She plucks a Matsuke cap from the tray. These little things are reflections of their conditions. Their smell, their taste, their chemistry, it all derives from the conditions of their growth. He smells the cap. Enough of these, and we'll have a picture of what is happening here, of the ways in which this biosphere is modifying itself or being modified, whichever the case may be. Rico props up the Matsuke cap into the mouth, taking you by surprise. And don't worry, Sleeper, she says while softly chewing. If this turns out to be a dead end, I'll make sure that not a single mushroom will go to waste. Yeah, we can just eat them. Fruiting bodies, girole samples. The pale and delicious girole mushrooms are more abundant than the matsukes, but Rico says they still help the process. For matsuke samples, the rich and pungent matsuke caps are Rico's preferred subject of study. Something about their environmental sensitivity. Well, we can start working on it, but I don't know. Layers and layers of rotten mulch come away from the corroded metal, and among it, pale and delicate, we find a bird skull. Wow, bird skull. I guess it is safe, I can just dump it in there. We struggle with dried vines and creepers entwined around the structure of the dome, threatening to vent the garden into space. And we'll work some more. The layers of growth are overwhelming, and the stench of the rot disgusting. You do what you can for now. You'll have to start clearing it out. That is if I'm even going to stay here, considering if I go up, send the hub, it's like it's time to freaking go. You know what I'm saying? There is a crowd, but you spot Lem and Mina immediately as you enter the dock. He doesn't look happy. She's insanely happy in zero gravity though. They are waiting at the cordon, where Celis security are checking the crew in to board the ship. Those that manage to get up to the hub are crowded near the entrance, but even they know their chance of getting on board has long gone. Lem! Lem spots you among the crowd. Sleeper, we are here. They are standing beside a bag which looks to carry all the possessions they have. It is small enough to be carried in one hand. Hi, Mina. Mina is vibrating with excitement. She seems strangely at home in microgravity, but then you remember that she has spent her whole life in space. Hi, robot. You hand over the Celis ID film to Lem, keeping your own. He turns it back and forth in the light. Where did your friend even get this picture, Sleeper? It looks like my old Conway ID. You look, and a shimmering younger Lem stares out of the film, harder and clean cut. I spoke to the guard here. He nods to the white and green clad security officer. They'll be doing orientation and role assignment on board. Sounds like we are going to be working under the core crew, kind of like an intern. He laughs. What do you think, Meanie? Am I too old to be an intern? Following Lem's lead, you inspect your ID. As you lift the film up to the light, you see something strange, something that makes you flinch. The face printed in the film is one you recognize immediately, but it is not you. At least, it's not how you look now. You squint at this ghost, confused why you hadn't noticed earlier. It is a picture you remember being taken, a memory you didn't know you had. You remember signing the forms, the walk to the sleeper tanks, the cold metal floor. You remember the SNRP employee who's helped you in, her smile clean and surgical. This is my memory, my picture from when I was a real person, right? You freeze in place, thinking of the you that still sleeps somewhere in SNR facility. They won't wake you until you recovered. They won't wake until you are recovered and disposed of. And you are and now you are leaving. Will they ever wake up? Sleeper, Lem interrupts your thoughts. These guys want us to board. You stare at him without thinking, then notice the guard gesturing you both to come forward. Hmm. You all kick off and float over to them, steadying yourselves on the guardrail. You hang back, letting Lem present his ID film first. The guard slides it across a white machine, much like the one Castor printed them from. You reflexively rub the puncture mark on your hand, even though there is no trace of it now. It seems your destiny is to be someone else's tool. Oh god, come on. Lem and Mina wave through, the guard smiling at her excited face. Lem turns back to check if you are coming. The guard beckons closer. I can just not go, huh? I can just say like, nah man, I'm gonna stay back and just not go. I'll fucking bored. If this ends the game, I don't know if I'll do a replay, because like I don't want to replay the whole damn thing, but I don't know, we'll see. You shake off your doubts and hand over your ID film. The guard barely looks at it as they pass it through the scanner and wave you through. A new life built from old things. You okay? Lem asks, concerned as you catch up with them. You are so slow, robot, Mina teases, grabbing at you with small hands. I'm good. Lem nods and you realize how much harder it must have been for him to cross that threshold. Mina struggles in his arms, trying to get to you, and Lem relents, struggling with both the bag and his daughter. Mina tumbles through the microgravity and grabs onto your clothes for purchase, pulling herself into your arms. You all proceed up the walkway, the entrance to the docking bridge yawning wide in and above you. Are we family, robot? Mina asks as you move, taking you by surprise. I guess so. Mina smiles and presses her head against your chest, pleased by your answer. You keep moving up into the docking bridge and along that thin glass-walled connector. All the time Mina clutching onto you. The lack of gravity means you can't feel her weight, only the grip of her small hands on your clothes. You both stare wide-eyed at the vast hull of the sidereal horizon and try to think of this huge machine as home. Later, when you settle in your bunk after Mina has finished running back and forth between you and Lem with an endless and infectious excitement, you find yourself looking at your ID film once more. Somehow, since the last time you looked at it, the image seems to have changed. It is still a picture of the old you, the person that signed up to have their consciousness copied and placed into the ownership of SNR, but something else has crept into the image, an underlying sense of self-identification. This is also a picture of you now. Of you now. The you that survived the eye, that made friends here, that found a way out, that escaped against all odds. The other you might never wake up, they might never live again, but so be it. They consigned you to a doomed life for their own gain. Their life is yours now. You will live it better than they ever could. You lie back on your bunk as the thrust of the sidereel's vast engines kick in. This feeling, this rumble, will be your constant companion for the next decades. It will be there when you watch Mina grow, when you dream of the planet at the end of the journey. There will be no damn planet unless I can keep repairing myself forever. By the way, this medicine will help for a bit. It will stay with you when you both start to fail. Despite the best attempts of Lem and Mina as the years stack up and it exceeds its safe operating period by a decade, it will be the thing that you wake up to in those rare moments of consciousness between which Mina will keep you in a frozen state in the hope of preserving you until your destination is reached. It will still be there when Mina wakes you, tears in her eyes to tell you of Lem's inevitable death, and it will not relent despite your desire for a moment of silence. It will be the final thing you hear as Mina shuts down all but the most vital of your functions and hopes beyond hope that you make it to your final destination, all the while doubting that you will. But for now, in these moments of departure, it is still a new sound, a new feeling, and because of this, it is filled with the promise of the future. And so you settle back on your bunk and close your eyes in moments you are sleeping a perfect dreamless sleep, the most peaceful that you can ever remember. I got an ending. I left on the sidereal horizon. Now can I go back and not leave? I mean, the game is fun, a little easy, I will say, but maybe because I got good rolls or whatever. I was able to level up almost everything. I think if I had just not left, I perhaps would have been able to upgrade almost everything. But yeah, pretty damn good game for what it is set out to do. Again, it's a shorter game, right? Not like Disco Elysium's insane length. And the story is, would I say, at the same caliber as Disco Elysium? Maybe not. The gameplay also is slightly more limited, but still, it's still fun, still nice. I would give it like a 9. And maybe you think that 9 is too high, but like it does. I mean, again, I don't know what the price is. If it is a very expensive game, maybe I'll give it like a 7 or an 8. But on Xbox Game Pass, where I got to play it for free, why not? Not that big of an investment. Doesn't take that long to play. You know, it's got an interesting and self story. You gotta make decisions. You roll dice. It's fun, man. It's a fun ass game. I don't know. I enjoyed it. Now, what will make it even better would be if they let me go back to just before I left and not leave, and try to get the other damn endings. If they want me to replay the whole game, that's not very good. Let me go back to the last point of that makes sense to go back to, and do something. What is this? What can I continue? That's the important part. If they have a continue, I can then not leave. I can wait. Right? This is when I finished my work with the spores and I went back. Okay, so if they do have this, then I support it. Then I am happy. Right? Because I can't just not go, right? They won't let me sleep. Yeah, complete active seeds, see? So I think this is good. This means I can then not go and be fine. Lamb. Hi, Mina. Blah, 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 blah. Wait. You wait for a moment. You need to wait for a moment. This is all happening too fast, changing too much. There are so many questions you have, so many threads to catch hold of, and yet here you are, boarding a ship who knows where on a journey that will take decades. Reconsider. Is this really what you want? How will you even survive? You suddenly feel dizzy, unsettled. You can make out the concerned look on Lem's face as you hold back. The guard gestures again. Mina's eyes looking back at you are so bright in the starlight. I'm just not gonna go. Stay on the eye. You can't do it. You can't get on that ship. You turn away quickly, trying not to look at Lem, to look at Mina, to meet their eyes. You turn away and kick off hard from the guardrail. This will piss off frickin' data broker who gave me the damn thing, but When you reach the far wall, you turn back. The scene continues in front of you as if nothing had changed. The next set of people are boarding. The crowds are still gathered at the cordon. The sidereal horizon still blinks, its yellow hull bright against the stars. And there are Lem and Mina gliding up towards the docking bridge, bag in hand. Lem is facing away, focused on the steady climb, but Mina is in his arms and is facing back towards you. You watch her face, confused, sullen, but twinkling with a growing excitement, as Lem carries her forward. They'll be fine without me. As you watch Mina, you think about your future, about the future you might choose. You know one thing for certain, yet your future is on the eye. You no longer have any enthusiasm for being carried forward by the dreams of others, for grand futures that unfold like angelic wings across the horizon. The future is being made now, on this spinning ring, among its people and its systems, you are sure of that. But as you watch Mina disappear into the entrance of the sidereal horizon, and much later, when you watch the ship pull away, you feel a sense of longing. A longing to be carried not by the systems that spin the suns or the corporations that run the colonies, but by love, towards an uncertain future, just as Mina was. That, you think, is the future you wish to make here on Erlin's eye. That is also an end? Bro, no, I want to do other things now. You don't understand, bro. What the hell is this? So as soon as I took the damn tracker, I basically... what the hell? I can't do anything else now? Okay, that knocks it down a point. 8.75, a quarter of a point. Let me go back and like play other things. If it does, then I'm good. But if it doesn't, that's bad. Okay, that is not fun. I want to be able to explore everything else in the game. The game is made to be played, right? Why would you want me to restart the whole thing to try and figure out basic stuff? Like, I don't want to do that. Why would I do that? I'll just continue playing back from this point. I'll not board the damn sidereal horizon, and then I will, continue living my life there, finding out stuff, finishing quests, becoming the best version of me, leveling everything up. That's why I'm here. Please tell me to let me continue. I really want to, but like, if they don't let me, then I'm done. I'm not going to replay the whole thing. Like, you are crazy if you think I'm going to do that. Have they lost it? Let's see. They have not lost it. Okay, good. And here is Caster again, low-end data fence. A strange choice. Caster stands beside you at the unless he just kills me right here and done. Caster stands beside you at the rail, watching the pinpricks of light from the sidereal horizon as from the sidereal horizon's drive disappear. But perhaps not unexpected. You turn to look at Caster, and Caster is beaming at you with an unsettling warmth. Aren't you angry? About what? He squeezes your shoulder. I only wish for you to exercise that strong drive of yours. If it happens to align with my own, then it is pleasing to me. But if it does not, I cannot punish you. What about the Celis? Castor looks out through the stars. I will do my best to follow its progress. He pauses. The Celis Foundation is of more concern. Tendre Celis has taken a step back from the public eye. It seems some internal struggles are playing out within their pristine halls. Castor sighs, but I doubt core politics are of much concern to you. Castor moves down along the rail. The eye, though, that seems to be your primary concern, am I right? It is my home. He smiles broadly. Then we are fellow residents. He seems pleased. This place has been a good home for me. Though, like all places, it has its phases. Do not idle here too long, Sweeper, unless you wish to be once again caught in the movement of systems much bigger than yourself. Castor turns and starts to clunk away in his Mac boots. I will be keeping an eye on you if you don't mind, Sleeper. He waves at it as he walks. My curiosity remains piqued. Once he leaves you, stay a little longer at the rail, watching the stars. Imagining the look on Mina's face when she sees Celis 1 for the first time. Imagining the excitement when she first touches its soil. The joy when she first stands outside in the rain, laughing. Those images, though they will not happen for decades, are what will carry you through this cycle and perhaps the next one too. Okay, good. I'm happy. Good job, game. You did not disappoint me. In a saddle, the draw didn't go away. In fact, I never had a choice. Where's the thing? Extract the past, expose Yannick, escape on the sidereal. You gave up your chance to settle on a new world. Perhaps you will live to regret it. Perhaps not. I got work to do here, man. Soon I'll become hard to kill. Keep 2 dice even when condition is breaking, which I don't really see much point of, but it's the last 2 upgrade point thing. So when I get it, I'll do it. But yeah, they did not just end the game there. If I choose not to go, I can still continue playing. Basically, that's important to me. So as long as I can continue playing, as long as I don't have to replay the whole ass game, I can still, figure stuff out, continue on with the story, because I am interested in the damn story, and maybe the rating will change soon. Maybe it will be even higher than it is now. The merchants agree to lower the shipment's fragments prices, sign of respect and goodwill. Can I just flip the fragment? Let's try something. So if I buy 3 for 32 each, that is 96. I can buy one for 96. I can buy a full shipment for 96. I can sell it for 150. Okay, I mean there's profit right there. What about a shard? If I sell a shard, how much can I sell it for? No, do you buy shards? 1 shipment fragment. Shipper is happy to pay for shipment fragments they can dismantle and reuse. Will I get... I'll buy it. You hand over the chits and they pass you the fragment with a smile. How much for it? Let's see, we bought it for 30 something, we got 30. The acquisitions officer takes the fragment with the approving nod. 30, okay, no, so I'm losing money on that. So the best thing is to make it and then do it. I lost 2 credits to that transaction, that's fine. There, so they're out of ship mine fragments now. The merchants don't have any more ship mine fragments, you will have to wait for the next visit. That's fine. So I'll collect 3 and sell them here, that's stonks already. Right? That's stonks. 150 is great. Okay, and I guess that's it. We can inject stabilizer, we can sunbathe, we can self-repair, we can feed the stray. But for now, what I want to do is end the cycle and move on to the next. I'm very happy we can continue playing the game. That makes me happy. And we got Lem and his daughter out on oh my god, look at this. Look at this, a natural, extremely good roll. I do want to end the episode though. Next time when I come back though, you know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna make the aviary ready. Because what else do we have? Find a nurturing grow bed. Still don't know where that is. Bring mushrooms to the briar. I might do that as well. Emphys wants Matsuke. I'm working on that. Grow mushrooms. Compete for repair jobs. Grow mushrooms for Rico. Yeah, so it's all of it is related to mushrooms right now. The mushrooms are very important. And the jobs that she is doing. Is the job ready? I think it is, right? No, not you. You're the one who's gonna buy my ship mines when I start making them. No, it's tomorrow. Bliss is bidding on jobs at the hub, and it'll take a few cycles and some perseverance before one comes in. Alright, you keep doing that. I will relax for now. I can always continue hacking, but I don't feel the need to. Hervange agents and Yatagan agents are all over. What's the point, though? Right? There is no point. Can continue to gather stuff. There's also the bar we can continue working at. Then I can start stealing, but that will stop me from being able to work there anymore. The commune also gives me energy though, so that's something. The wastes. Now if I do this, does this allow me to continue exploring, or does it just give me scrap? Let's test it for a second. In an old docking bay, you find a locker corroded shut. You crack it open and the components inside are in perfect condition. Maybe it's not... Yeah, but if I do one of these every day, I can get enough scrap to basically keep myself running in perpetuity. And the rest can go into actually just doing work. Okay, I like it. I'll see you in the next one. I love this game even more now.